about. So, Happy is finally out.
Yay!
So as we usually do, we'll go through song by song
Yeah.
and then, do a little breakdown of what we like and like what like intricacies or like little details that we found out and just like talk about the album and songs in general.
Mm-hmm.
So let me re-pull this back up. All right. So our title track,
I
because
freaking love it. It's so fun. It's so like poppy and bouncy and just like such a fun vibe.
yeah, if you're living under a rock, it's Running Wild.
Yes.
So
Yeah, Running Wild is it's so fun. I love the idea around this song of like running free without burden, without like anything. I love like the concept that he
mhm.
created with this song and the music video to go along with it is excellent. I feel like it's also like a continuation of The Astronaut, like
Oh,
where
absolutely. I was gonna say it's like
yeah,
Jin loves his asteroids.
he does love his asteroids. I also love how he said during the live concert, which we'll talk about, that like it's he didn't want to like disappear.
Yeah.
Like from armies, he didn't want to like disappear fully, so he didn't like get beamed up by the aliens.
Oh, you
Or
mean like
like
La Seraphim did?
yeah, or like die by one of the the asteroids. He's just like in
Yeah.
the movie theater watching himself, I guess.
Just like, huh?
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 But I love yeah, I love this song. It's so fun. It's like definitely like a summer song to me. Like it definitely has that like really freeing fun vibe
Oh
that
yeah,
I think we
absolutely.
all
I feel like all in all, like just as a kind of englobing the entire album, I
yeah,
was like with the title, like of the name of the album and everything, it just feels like a big hug.
it does feel like a big
And
hug.
coming from Jin, it's not surprising because I mean,
No.
just with everything he did right out of the military, it's
Yeah,
like it is so like BTS, but especially Jin coded.
100%.
How he's like army at the middle of everything, and it's
Yeah.
like that's why like army's my earth, I'm its moon, blah blah blah. I'm just like rotating around
Yeah.
army, and this like all in all, it's just
Encompasses
like
that.
yeah,
I think he wanted to be extra I think he wanted to be extra because he was the first to go into the military and he didn't have
yeah.
enough time to sort of spend with us before he had to leave. And
Yeah,
I
his
think
was basically just like, oh,
I gotta
announcement,
go.
okay, bye.
Yeah. I mean he had to do what he had to do, right? Like it is what
Yeah,
it is. That's irrelevant at this point because his service is done.
yeah,
But I agree. I think like this entire even like the sadder sort of melodic ballad songs
yeah.
still have like a happy undertone that's sort of carrying. And I think like honestly, sometimes you have to be like sad in order to be happy. Like you have to go
Oh yeah.
through
You
those
have to like feel
emotions.
those emotions, absolutely.
Yeah, like in order to be like really happy, I feel like you have to feel all the emotions, even though we don't want to. And if you guys have been watching us for a while, you know I don't necessarily like to outwardly express those emotions. But I do think it's
Yeah, sometimes
important.
like just. You gotta feel those. Just.
Yes. But I do think it's important to still be able to go through those emotions and at the end of the day you come out like a healthier, happier person.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But what did you think also of the live clip?
Oh my God, so good. Like his voice is so incredible live. Like I can't even he's just so talented. Like I don't know, like his ability to go in and out of like that his higher register and his lower register is just incredible. He
Mm-hmm.
has such a large range out of the BTS members,
It's so
especially
wild.
it's
Like
like
people
so
sleep on
large.
his vocals.
They really do. Like a lot of the time people call him like the silver fox because his voice is just so like tinny, like in a good way. It
Yeah.
has this like really interesting like ringing quality to it that like just like hits you in the heart like so
It's
hard.
so wild how all four of the vocal line have such different
Oh, they're
voices,
so different.
and
They're
yet they're all
so
in one
different.
group,
Yeah, it's
and
crazy. It's
Blessed.
crazy. We are so blessed. Like, honestly, it's wild now that we have all of their solo work together. And we can talk about this once we finish, like, going over the album.
Yeah.
Um, but it's so wild the differences between each of their solo albums that they were like they're all a part of the same group, and yet every single one of their solo work has been so different and
I mean,
so
that's what makes
diverse.
this group so rich.
Yeah. It's so good. It's so so good. And I think it's just gonna make them a better group overall. Like when they all get back together, I think it's just gonna make them
Oh, yeah.
so much stronger. Um, Now that all of their solo work is sort of chapter two has now been completed with the addition of Jin's album here.
Absolutely. All right, second song, I'll Be There.
It's
I
so
mean,
cute.
I,
It's
yeah.
it's so like I love like the subtle like rock vibes,
And
the
he uses a lot more of like his, um, I think they call it like your chest voice.
yeah.
He's like lower register,
Yeah, it's
and
great.
I freaking love that. I
Again,
love this
I
song.
listen, I love Rockstar Jin. Everybody should know this by now. Listen, his ballads sit in a very special place to my heart because ultimately I am a sad girl underneath. And so I think like his ballads hit me probably the hardest out of like all of the members.
Mm-hmm.
But Rockstar Jin really just lights me up on the inside because rock and roll it has been like a part of my life since I was a child, and I think like this hits really close to
Yeah.
the chest for me, which I love it. I love it so much, and it's
It's
such
it's also
a
it's also just such a good transition between
yeah.
Running Wild and then Another Level, which is the third song on the album.
Listen, listen, listen. It's so good. It's so good.
It feels so dramatic, but it's
It's so dramatic, and for what? Like I love it though. Like don't get me wrong. It's incredible. His voice is like so good on that song. It's like made for that like hard-hitting rock ballad vibe that I'm
oh
just
yeah.
like give it to me.
Also, Jin is one of our kings of like OSTs too, and it's just
Yes.
it works so good.
This song honestly feels like an OST to me. Like it feels like it should be like in, I don't know, like a gaming sort of like ultimate showdown
Oh yeah,
vibe, you
like an
know?
esport
Yeah,
K
like an
drama kind of
esport.
thing.
Yeah. Like an esport like final round
It's like
competition.
this is the finals and
Exactly,
like this
yeah.
is championship. Yeah, no, I see it. I 100 see it.
That's like immediately what I thought of when I heard this song for the first time. I was like, "Oh, this is Jin at like an esports competition." Like
Okay, I know like
doing it.
Falling Into Your Smile is a C drama, but like put this song in there.
Put this song in, you know what I
Put
mean? Because
if
like the gift that he gave armies at the like live stream was a gaming controller, and so I'm like, come on, come on,
and it's
come
called
on.
Another Level.
It's called Another Level. Like, come on, this is made for esports. I swear to God. And he's like, he's a gamer, so like,
Hey, listen, it was
come on.
probably made with that in mind, and
I
we
I know
don't know.
I know Jin. 100% it was. 100% it was. 100%.
All
100%.
right, Falling, track 4.
Again, I love it. I like this album is no skips. I'm telling you that right
Oh
now.
yeah, no,
I'm
I just like
telling
while I was
you.
like working most of the day, I just had the album and I was just listening to the entire
Yes.
thing.
Falling is such a interesting song because it's like a sad like it has like that ballad quality, but it's not quite a ballad like I Will Come to You. It's like in the middle of Another Level and I Will Come to You, I feel like. Like
Yeah,
it kind of has that like ballady quality, but it's also like kind of like fun in a
yeah,
way.
it's just it's hard to kind of like pinpoint exactly where it would be.
Yeah.
But it just like it's just so unique in its own way, which is I
Yeah.
mean, you could say that to like every single freaking song,
It's
but
true. It's true. It's true. It really is. But out of like all of them, I feel like Falling is the uniquest one. Like, it's not necessarily in his pocket, but it
yeah.
is at the same time because it's so like different in comparison to everything else on the album. But I love it. Like, I feel like it still fits.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Especially in between Another Level and Hard on the Window. I feel like it's like the perfect like lineup here of songs. I love it.
Yeah. Speaking of, Heart on the Window with Wendy of Red Velvet.
Listen,
It's
this song
so
is
good.
so good. It's
Probably
so good.
probably my favorite on the album.
It's such a tie for me between this one and I Will Come to You, only because, like I said before, I'm just a sad girl at heart, and the
Yeah.
ballads of Jin get me in that
But
spot.
also, Jiz and Wendy's voice just mesh so
They mesh
well.
so well together. I feel like
Hmm.
her voice
Kind of
is,
unexpected,
yeah,
but I'm here for
but
it.
I'm here for it. Especially because, like, for me personally, like, we've talked about this before, but I'm
Yeah.
not into girl groups, and I don't necessarily know Red Velvet. Like, I know some of their songs, but
Yeah, I
like,
don't either. I'm not like following them as I do like ITZY or the Seraphim, for
yeah, like
example.
I'm not in their fandom, and I'm not like in them as like an artist, so I don't necessarily know like all of the lore and like all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But I do really love the mixture between Jin and Wendy's voice. I feel like they
Yeah, the
are,
texture between the two of their
oh,
voices is
it's
like
so
it's
good.
chef's kiss.
Oh my God. And the way that they're like bouncing off of each other almost, like, and like flowing into each other, it's just, oh God, it's so good. And that the fact that she surprised everybody on day two by showing up
Yeah,
and performing,
at the
they
stages. Yeah, yeah.
they sounded
Absolutely.
so freaking good together. Like incredibly incredible live. Like her voice is so good, and she's so gorgeous. And for
Oh yeah,
what?
there is no doubt about Red Velvet's talent.
Damn, like
And
their visuals
so
are
I was like, I
crazy.
had zero doubts.
No, I
And
didn't have any
so
doubt.
when I saw, I was just like, this is gonna be fire.
It's gonna be fire.
It's
Like,
gonna be fire.
and it is fire. Like
It is, yeah.
it's so good. It's one of the best songs on the album for sure. Like
Yeah.
absolutely. I love it
Mm-hmm.
so much.
It's kind of like a collab we were not expecting, but
Yes.
also like
But what we
happily
needed.
surprised,
You know what I love about BTS is their collabs, especially with female artists, have been so good. Like on their solo albums, all of them have been like
Yeah, because I was
so
gonna
good.
say there's one that I can think of that we shall not.
We're not gonna name that one. But besides that one, all of their other
Yeah,
collabs with women have been so strong and so good. Like, I don't know. They've just been doing it right, you know? Like
yeah.
they're
I mean,
fine.
it's just been doing music right in
Yeah. I
general.
mean,
So,
it's BTS. I did not expect anything less, honestly. Honestly, didn't expect anything less.
Lucy is currently biting Suki's butt. I think this
Doggo's
this
Doggo's gonna dog. Let's talk about I Will Come to You.
I will come to you.
So
What a
sad. So
finale for this
sad.
album.
Oh my God, it's so sad, but I love it so much. This is the kind of stuff that I'm here for. You know what I mean? Like, I just need a good cry sometimes, and Jin's songs, without fail,
Oh
get
yeah.
me to the place I need to be.
Abyss. Yours.
Come on.
Excuse me.
Epiphany? Like, hello?
Epiphany.
God. Awake? Like, what are we doing?
That's what I'm telling you.
Crying,
OST
screaming,
King.
throwing up.
Crying in the club.
Crying in the club. That's how I feel. Honestly, that's genuinely how I feel. Crying in the club.
Crying in the club.
All day, every day. I think like overall, this is such a strong solo work, especially because it's Jin's first solo work.
Mm-hmm.
Besides like Super Tuna and like Astronaut and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I think like those were a taste of what his abilities were when it comes to a solo album. And
Yeah.
I think this is both unexpected in the way uh you know that like I wasn't
And
sure.
also very
It's
expected.
very like yeah, like it's very expected because there's a lot of like ballads and a lot of like really fun songs that we know that he is obviously very talented at and
Yeah.
always willing to do. But
You
I
listen to
think
this album and you're like, oh yeah, this is Jin.
this is very Jin. Like it's super
Yeah.
Jin. I love the mixture between like genres. We have like a bunch of different like fun things that have been added in here, especially those like the rock elements are excellent.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. It's such a strong album
I love
overall.
that like more K-pop groups have been like dabbling in more like rock elements
Me too. Listen.
like in the recent years, and
Yeah.
I am honestly living for it. I mean, just as a note, like TXT, we've talked about this before, but it's just like a type of sound that fits them so well.
Yeah.
And honestly, as BTS dabbles more into it as well, it does fit them like a lot too.
Yeah.
So I really hope that they keep doing that.
Me too. I hope that they add like I this now that we have like all of the solo albums like together as a whole, I think we will be getting more and more like diversity with BTS's albums
Hmm.
and more like experimentation, which I'm
We're
really
still
excited
waiting for
about.
that Trod BTS song.
Where is it? Where
Yoongi,
is
you promised.
Yugi? Where is it? You promised, boy. I need it. I need it.
No, but as we mentioned earlier, it's like it's so I mean, we already knew this, but it's
Yeah.
so wild how seven completely different people
Yeah.
basically just be like brought together like 11 years ago and just went with it. And these seven solo albums is just like more of it, like even more of a testament to
Yeah.
how different they are, but how
100%.
they complement each other at the same time.
Yeah. It's crazy like now that like chapter 2 is sort of finished because Jin is the
Yeah, it's
finale of chapter 2.
basically
Um
just yeah on that tail end of things.
and I think like reflecting back on all that we've gotten through chapter 2, I'm just like so proud of them that they were able to just like experiment and be themselves and figure out what their voice is as an individual.
Mm-hmm.
Um because
And
I
try new things
and try
because
new
they definitely
things and
definitely did.
yeah, like experiment with things and especially the like members who hadn't put out a solo album before this point or like an EP or anything like that before this point. I think it's just such a great way to like showcase yourself as an individual. Um
Mm-hmm.
and once they get back together next year, I feel like that will be amplified when the group gets back together and they
Oh
start
yeah,
doing more group
absolutely.
stuff. Um, and I'm just really excited to see like what chapter 3 is going to be
I
about and
cannot wait. This is gonna be so good
it's going
because
to
now
be
that
so
they've
good.
all like especially the vocal line, which hadn't done it as much
Yeah.
as a rap line,
Yeah.
they dabbled a lot more in like producing and
Yeah,
like
writing and
songwriting and everything. And
yeah.
so it's just gonna bring such like differences, yes, but also just enhance what they were already
Yeah.
doing as a group. And it's gonna be
Yeah.
so great. I
It's
cannot wait.
it's gonna give so much flavor. And I think we sort of got a taste with that with B because they wrote and produced
Yes.
and directed all the music videos and like had all of their influence all over
It
that
was like a
album.
prelude.
And I feel like that's what we're going to be getting like carrying on from this of like their voices are going not that their voices weren't before because obviously like Junie and J-Hope and Yoongi were like writing a lot of the songs as it is
Mm-hmm.
anyway, but I think adding in the vocal line as well more will enhance the work that's going to be done for
Absolutely.
BTS in the future. And I think like this is such a great jumping off point for all of them uh
Oh
to
yeah.
like you know and
I mean,
and
it
I'll
shows they've been having a lot of fun with all of these
yeah,
projects, and it shows.
it
And I mean,
shows.
again, we've talked about it before. It's like we could see just the growth and the
Yeah,
self-reflection and work that they've all done on themselves
100%.
during this chapter two, especially is like I like obviously we can't really talk too much about it because we are female and not Korean, but I feel like for like a lot of testaments for like Korean male that like went into the military, it's a lot of self-reflection as they're going through their service.
Mm-hmm.
And so obviously that brings a lot of like things out of themselves that they can also add to their
Yeah.
music and their lives in general. And I again just cannot wait to see where things goes because it can only go up from here.
Oh yeah, 100%. I like they have they're they're limitless at this point.
Oh yeah.
Like I think for chapter 1 we got a major taste of what they could accomplish and what they could do. But I think
Hmm.
chapter 3 will be like even more than that, and they'll
Yeah.
achieve even greater things than that.
Dudes are self-sufficient now.
Yeah, I mean, they they have like all of the power to do whatever the hell they want. And that's what
Yep.
makes me excited about this new chapter that we're going to be going into is how much control they're going to have over all of the stuff that they put out
Okay. I'm
going forward.
intending this pun. I'm very much intending this pun.
Oh, okay, okay.
Let them run wild.
I love it. I love
There
it.
you
I love
go.
it. I love it.
But
It's so
Ginny's been
great.
on a bunch of like shows,
Yes.
on
Promoting.
YouTube's. Yep, doing his promotion stuff.
Yep. He also
Um,
this week is going to be in NYC
yep,
for on Jimmy Fallon. So that's going
they
to be
all gonna have their
exciting.
Jimmy Fallon little moment.
Got to.
But yeah, we're not gonna go into details of like all these promotions. They're all across YouTube.
Yeah.
Because I haven't been able to watch all of them yet, so I'm trying.
Yeah. His concert over the weekend was so freaking adorable. I wasn't able to catch like Saturdays, but I caught Sundays because it was a little bit earlier in the evening.
Hey, you caught the one with Wendy,
I did catch
so
the one with Wendy. It was so sweet. I love, first of all, pulling out a PowerPoint presentation in the middle of a concert. Jen, my
are you
guy.
surprised? Are you really
No,
surprised?
no, no. I'm really not. I'm like genuinely not.
He's your bias.
I know. As a millennial, I get it. I understand. I love like he him and I are so similar. He's such a yapper. Like, you know what I mean? Like he's such a yapper. And so am I. Like you get me on a topic and I can like
Hey,
yap
listen,
about
I
it.
love you both for it. So
Yeah, yapper's gonna yap is
Yapper's
basically
gonna yap.
what that is. I also like loved like the different stages we got with like all of the different songs. I love how he performed Moon.
Oh my
Um,
God. I saw the clip on TikTok of what I don't remember exactly what it was. I think it was during the PowerPoint presentation or whatever, where it was like, what are kids are gonna say when I'm like, what is your dream when I'm 60 years old? They're just gonna think I'm weird.
I love how he was like fighting with Army the entire time.
Yeah.
And my thing was like, you're not gonna win, my guy. Like,
No, you're not.
you're not
That's
winning
like
this.
JK being like, oh, I don't want to be called cute. And I'm like, you're cute.
You can be hot and cute at the same time, my guy.
Yeah.
You can be sexy and cute at the same time. It's a thing.
Yeah,
It's a thing.
it's fine.
It's fine. You don't have to be known as one thing. I feel like just let me put that out there. You don't
If
have to
there's
be
one thing, JK is known as everything. So,
golden matinee for a reason.
exactly.
Just saying. Yeah, I just him fighting is like so it reminds me of that Run BTS episode where Yoongi is like asking Tae if he wants to do this and he's like, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it. You want to do it? We'll do it.
Okay,
Okay.
do it. Yep.
That's what
I,
that reminds me of. It's like, please, I don't want this to be the choice. Okay, fine, it's the choice, I guess. We'll go with this one.
yeah. Like for real, the young line especially with Army or like with their younger members are always like, I really don't want to do it, but you want
Then
to
I'll
do it,
do
so I'll
it.
still do it.
I'll do it. I also just love how he like hosted an entire like free concert for 2 days.
Mhm.
Like
Yeah.
the man
You're
is just
talking about the man who the next day after his discharge went and hosted an event to hug 1,000 armies.
yeah, you got a good point here.
So,
Well,
but we got the Bangtan Bone. This is a good segue into our J-Hope segment. We got the
yes.
Bangtan Bone for the Running Wild challenge with Hobie. And boy,
Oh my god, it was so funny. I love how Jin is roasting main dancer. Like, what
yeah,
are we doing?
yeah.
How do we get to this point where Jin
But it's always when Jin has his choreography that he's like, J-Hope, come on now.
come on, what are you doing?
I
Come
was
on.
like, this is, like top choreo here.
It was just so funny. It's so funny.
It was 7 minutes of my life. Excuse me, 6 minutes and 47 seconds of my life that I will
Yes.
not get back.
No. Not at
And I'm
all.
okay with it.
Yeah, I think I'm okay with it.
Considering that they made us watch Buttermilk for an hour.
Yeah, this is pretty, this is like a good time
This is pretty
spent.
okay.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? This is good time spent in comparison.
Throw back to the buttermilk thing.
Oh, good God. Good God.
But otherwise, Hobie also came and saw us twice
He
on Weverse.
did. He is in well, by the time we're recording this, he's probably back in Korea. But he was in
Homeboy was in
LA.
LA, yeah.
He was in LA. He said on his first live that he wanted to visit LA to just like go on vacation and like
Oh, by the way,
reset
Hobie,
and
I would like to apologize for the shit show that you witnessed while you were in LA.
yikes.
That's all I'm gonna say about that.
Apologies in advance for that. But yeah, he was in LA just to like reset and recharge. He also said that he was working on stuff as well. So don't know what
When
that
is he
means,
not?
but
When is he not?
I assume because he did mention on the live about concert, and we already predicted this that he would
Yep.
go on tour. So I think that he will definitely go on tour next year.
Yeah, it was either Jin or Hobie, but like whoever is the one that goes, bring the other one.
Bring the other one. But I think, yeah, I think it's gonna be Hobie. Probably Hope
Yeah.
on the Street Volume 2 is gonna be the prelude to that concert.
Yeah.
If he's working on stuff in LA, that's my thought process here. So everybody buckle up, get those Ticketmaster accounts ready. We ride at dawn is what that means. I just hope
Not
he
the we
adds
ride at
Canada.
dawn.
I just please add Canada onto the list, bro. I can't keep traveling to the
Oh
United States of
God.
America. I don't want to.
Well, next time, hopefully, I'll be able to join you guys. Fingers crossed.
We'll see what happens. I
So,
don't.
well, I have a
Um,
job.
that's true. And he came on live a second time, which I unfortunately missed the second one because I was asleep.
Yeah, I
Sadness.
turned around. I think it happened when I was working. I turned around and one of my Discord blew up, and I'm like, well,
Hope he's on live. But he was packing up and getting ready to go back to Korea, so that's what he's doing. And he was just chatting with us, and he said he'd come back on live afterwards to like once he's back in Korea to come and chat with us again.
we
It was
need a
really
studio
funny
live.
in a studio live. It was really funny because the first time he was like, I'm really like, this is awkward. And I was like, why is it awkward?
Homie hasn't done it in a while.
Why is it awkward?
It's been 18 months.
It's not awkward. You're making it awkward by pointing that out. I feel like if you just would have left it, then it would
You
have been
could just
fine.
ask Jin for tips.
Or just like, I don't know, we just want to see your face. Like, I don't, like, you don't need to
Your
talk.
cute little face.
Yeah, like, you don't need to talk if you don't want to.
You know, you don't need to flex your muscles or anything, though it would be really nice.
I swear I like blacked out during that moment. I was like, how did we get here? Like, I
Yeah,
don't
I saw it
understand.
on a clip on TikTok, and I was like, save.
I will be saving this and watching
Yeah.
this later. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I swear, like my saves are like clips from lives or like whatever
Yeah.
from TXT and BTS, and then book talk.
Oh
Rex.
God.
That's it. That's it.
You know what it is? Mine is just BTS and then hyphen and then TXT and that's
Yep.
it. That's
Sounds
that's
alright.
that's
And I have the occasional diabetes stuff.
of
I
course.
follow a lot of like type 1 diabetic on TikTok. That's why. Yeah. It's funny. When you live with it for 14 years, you gotta laugh.